So welcome back to How You Slice It. You may have seen sportswear giant Fila just dropped a limited edition set of sneakers in collaboration with this amazing institution. It's a Bronx-based pizza shop, Louie and Ernie's. Those of us who know Louie and Ernie's and just the shop itself, we're obviously not surprised. This is a shop that's been open since 1947 and has been serving the Pelham Bay neighborhood in the Bronx for over 6 decades. And today I'm just really excited for Victoria Tiso
Yes.
to join me and tell the story of Louie and Ernie's. And congratulations on your role, in essence, running the shop day to day.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm excited to chat about that. And these sneakers are incredible. I mean, they just scream pizza.
Yeah, 100%.
And style. So welcome, and would love to maybe share a quick background on yourself. How did you end up at Louie and Ernie's? I mean, I know the story, but would be great to hear it from you.
Yeah, so the business itself has been in the Bronx since now 1959. It originally opened in Harlem in 47. It was on First Avenue. And at that point, the Bronx was pretty much farmland. And in 59, they decided to go up, try to take a stab at the Bronx. And it was an old candy shop. So they had to convert it over to a pizzeria at that point. And at that point, Ernie, who actually learned how to make pizza from his father, Patsy, they ran into a little bit of a snag. It couldn't be called Patsy's because Patsy's was already on First Avenue at that point.
Right.
So Louie and Ernie essentially came from Patsy's sons' names, which was Louie and Ernie.
That's amazing.
So Ernie ended up really evolving the business, going up in 59, trying to make it in this like farm area. And he did. I mean, the line was out the door. I think pizza was 5 cents at the time. And my dad, John, and my uncle K.I.S.S. ended up coming over from Italy at that time in the 70s. And they started working for Ernie. They learned everything from starting from rolling dough, essentially learning the whole business from...
That's amazing.
Yeah, top to bottom.
Yep.
So at that point, my dad took over in 87. My dad was 20 and my uncle was 18. He was just graduating high school.
Yep.
So my grandma was like, listen, this is a great opportunity. You have to buy the business. Unfortunately, Ernie was sick and he had 2 daughters. He didn't have any sons. So it's a little different now that my dad had daughters and my uncle is like the ultimate girl dad. He has three girls. My brother went on to do different things and he was like, listen, you can conquer the pizza world.
Yeah.
So at that point, from 87 to now, throughout the years, it's been like a whirlwind of like emotions. We've gone from having different staff members go on to open their own pizzerias. We've had people leave altogether the pizza industry, but they still always come back. We could pick up the phone right now and call any one of our workers and they'll come back tomorrow to help us out. My uncle's big on, trying to always keep like a good relationship between your workers. So I worked for college athletics.
Okay.
So I went on to school. I got a great gig playing softball in college. And
amazing.
Yeah, I did that for a while and was always kind of staying true to my roots. I loved trying new pizza. Never really found good pizza outside of the city. Then at that point, I came back. I was like, all right, Dad, I'm going to work here full time. I said, if I'm coming back, I got to learn everything. Yeah. Because at that point, I wasn't making pizza. So I said, all right, I'm going to come back. I'm going to make pizza.
Learn how to make pizza.
Learn everything.
Yeah.
From soup to nuts. I was like, I'm doing this all.
Yep.
And it's taken me now like almost 5 years later, and I've been doing everything.
Yeah.
We've incorporated social media, things that we never had.
Yeah.
So I said, listen, the world's evolving. We have to evolve with it.
I couldn't agree more. By the way, we'll zoom in on that whole topic.
Yeah.
Because I think there's this fallacy where any business, not just pizza shops.
Yeah.
I think they believe that what got them to a certain point is what will get them to a new milestone. And that couldn't be further from the truth, right?
Very true.
So we'll zoom in on that topic.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you've taken over the shop over the last 5 years. Obviously, part of it is all about maintaining this brand and institution that is Louie and Ernie's, and obviously living up to those expectations, while at the same time making the necessary adjustments. It's 2022.
Right.
You've got to explore some of these new frontiers. I also want to highlight we've had a couple of guests here, and there aren't that many female pizzeria owners / operators.
No.
And I believe the last time we had a session here, it was either with Nicole Russell or perhaps Miriam Weiskind. And think the number was like less than 5.
Yep.
I would love to get your perspective on whether, what you see in terms of the future of pizza from a female operator standpoint, and has it been challenging for you? What do you think are the barriers? How do we break those barriers? That's something that I'd love your perspective on.
I think that there's always been almost like a little bit of a stigma of just saying like, oh, it's a pizza man or a pizza guy. Like it's been part of the culture. People don't realize that there are women out there doing it. Sometimes they're behind the scenes.
Yep.
Like I think my grandma probably could have done it 100%. She was just that type of workhorse.
But it's always grandma's recipe too.
Exactly. So someone somewhere down the line,
Yeah.
there was probably a female perspective behind it. They just
Yeah.
never got the credit. I think now the hardest part of me transitioning from moving over from being a waitress and moving over from really a behind the scenes thing and being in that element of pizza, when people walk in, they first see me, they're like, wait a minute, where are the boys? Where's your dad? Where's your uncle? And I'm
Yeah.
like, they can't do this forever. They're getting older. So
Right.
somebody has to learn.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes there's a little bit of shock. And there's like this initial, I don't know if she can do it. I don't know what changes in people's worlds, but it's funny to see that at this point we've come full circle. Like people have watched me grow up in the shop.
Yeah.
So now they're seeing like the next generation slowly taking over. Even my little cousin's learning now too. So it's been a little bit of a transitional period for me also to not want to be like, I could do it.
Yeah.
Like these are like customers that have been around forever and you want to have that retention with them. I mean, that's the simplicity of the business being around for so long is
Yep.
that you're having that customer retention. For me, being a woman in pizza, I think the hardest part is just accepting that some people will be okay with it
Yep.
and some people won't be, and that's okay. It's
And
just
that is okay.
as long as the product that I'm putting out is the same product that my dad and uncle put out, then I'm very content with that.
Yeah, and it takes that strong personality and that approach that you have to continue to blaze the trail for future operators.
Right.
Look, I have a daughter, and it'd be amazing if she owned a pizza shop and ran a pizza shop at some point. So I think just being able to continue to, provide a platform and a voice for great operators like you is really important to me. So I want to thank you for that. And then, yeah, tell us a little bit about, just sort of the transition that you've embarked on the last 5 years. What has been like the most surprising aspect, and also what has been the most challenging?
I think the most surprising has been the accessibility to reaching so many customers around the world. I think we always had this idea of how many people we've interacted with throughout the years. I never knew what to get my dad for Father's Day, so I got him this big map that I'm very proud of, and we get to track where everybody comes from in the country. And now we've gone.
I love that.
We only are missing one state, South Dakota.
Can we get
I know,
South
we need
Dakota
some
to
South
show
Dakota.
up? Let's do it.
So South Dakota is the only state that we're missing, and we've almost got all 7 continents, minus Antarctica. But we've had a lot of people come through Scott Wiener's tours. We've had people coming on different tours themselves. We did a 5-borough bike tour, which
Yeah.
we got a lot of people. So there's been different events that go on through Instagram and social media that we weren't on 5 years ago. So with me building the platform online, whether it be on Facebook or being on Instagram, we kind of took off from there. So that was been most of the, I guess, generational moving on
Right.
from
Right, the transition.
exactly. That was really a pivotal point. I think that the accessibility of meeting new people, and now I can talk to people from all over. They'll be like, "Oh, we miss your pizza. We're in California." "Oh, we miss your pizza. I'm in Hawaii."
Wow.
Some people sending me pictures of them eating pizza somewhere else, and they're like, "Oh, it's just not as good." I'm
Not
like,
as
"But you
good.
know what? It's cool that we have that ability." I had somebody send me a full arm sleeve of tattoos from Louie and Ernie's.
I would love to see that. That's amazing.
Yeah, they did a tribute to like their childhood, and they're living out in Arizona now. And I'm like, no way, send me the picture.
That's the most special part about like pizza shops. It's just so different than any other category, any other like shop or food category or restaurant type. There's an emotional connection people have with their local pizzerias that are representative of like celebrations,
Right.
wonderful memories, maybe even challenging times. But there was always a pizza shop and a counter like this one where you can
Yep.
just go sit down and have a slice.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty cool how we've come from there.
And so what has been the most difficult sort of aspect of it?
I think the most difficult was probably just getting through the pandemic. I mean, I feel like everyone had their ups and downs throughout there. We probably waited the longest to try to adapt. We didn't do any delivery at that point.
Right.
And we were really trying to like stick to our roots. We're like, no delivery, cash only. We're
Pickup
not
only.
changing this.
Yep.
We're just gonna make it work. And initially, I'm kind of glad that we didn't do delivery at first
Yep.
because it still allowed us to see the customer base that we were missing. A lot of people, I think, were trapped in their house, and they got so wrapped up in just having everything delivered to them that they forgot that there was a life outside. And unfortunately, during the time, it was hard to think of having life. But
Yep.
seeing those people once a week that you used to see all the time, it was nice to just catch up with people because otherwise it got a little monotonous.
Yeah, and it gave them a reason to kind of
Come
go
out.
outside, venture out for 10
Venture
minutes,
out.
pick
We
up
got
a
to
pie.
see people walking around. We got to see kids that some of them we didn't see. They were babies, and then they were starting to walk outside. So
That's right.
you know, you definitely have that rapport and relationship with these people that initially you're watching generations go on. So it was nice to obviously have that, but it was definitely the hardest part of the pandemic was adapting to what we needed to be successful.
Yeah, and any challenges with labor and people, like not having enough people to, serve customers?
Right. Our staff is like pretty much all family at this point. We have a couple of guys that work for us who are fantastic. They've been with us for a while. But our family is very big.
Yeah.
My dad and my uncle obviously have their sets of kids
Yeah.
at work. And then my aunt is my dad's sister.
Right.
Her son actually owns a pizza place too. With
Okay.
my uncle. So everyone kind of pitches in. We're like
Awesome.
the pizza family.
Yeah.
So no matter what, we kind of always like
I
figure
love
it
that.
out.
Yeah.
But it's never easy to find anyone. We feel all the time, you could put a job out there, but does anyone really want to do the work? Sometimes it's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard to
Yeah.
find people that are either willing to do the work, skilled enough to do the labor, have the time frame. Everyone's families are different now.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, two people are working in the home. So you definitely have your challenges where labor and then just the cost of goods rising every day is where you start to figure out, is it worth me actually working more? Or is it worth,
That's right.
hiring someone and then having to cut costs elsewhere?
That's right. And I was reading a quote from your dad. It said, show up, be humble, work hard.
Mm-hmm.
Hard work. Like for me, I have a similar sort of theme and belief, which is there is no substitute for hard work. But
Right.
tell me what that means for you and how that's helped everyone around you at the shop kind of rally and just show up and work hard.
Yeah, he said that a few years ago. I remember that. Showing up's half the battle. That's what I
Uh-huh.
say all the time. You want to be on time, you're late. That's how we look at it.
Yeah.
But showing up, some people just don't do that anymore.
Right.
And hard work is just what's instilled with you. I mean, sometimes if your core values and your morals are at that point are hard work, that's all you're going to do. You're going to give 150% all the time. Anyone who's come in contact with me, any job that I've worked at is like, you go 200% at all times. When do you sleep?
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no time to sleep when you're a hard worker.
Right.
Sometimes you just can't shut the brain off.
Right.
Like I'm already on to the next thing, and that's just who I am. But that was instilled from a young age, because anyone who has a restaurant knows there are no off days.
There are no off days.
You miss every family function. There's things you're gonna miss. You might miss a highlight. I'm pretty sure my dad almost missed me being born. Like, there's some times in life where you just you have no other option. Like the business has to run.
A lot of my relatives literally plan occasions, weddings, family functions around pizza holidays,
100%.
like 4th of July, Christmas Day. Like those are the only days
No
where
one is getting married on a Friday.
Exactly.
That's the staple. No one gets married on a Friday.
Exactly. Like literally 4th of July, and because I have so many family members and relatives in the pizza space, the amount of weddings that happen in this like one day, it's kind of wild, but that resonates with me. Look, just shifting gears a little bit. Obviously, Louie and Ernie's an iconic shop, iconic brand, and again, I want to talk a little bit about the sneaker
Right.
opportunity. But thousands of pizza shop owners, whether they're launching their business this year or have been in business, I think everyone really aspires to create an iconic local shop.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think has been the sort of secret to Louie and Ernie's success over the years? Is it, the recipe? Is it the experience? Is like, what do you think has made it sort of the shop and the brand that it is today?
Well, they haven't really changed anything since day one, since
Yeah.
they've worked there.
Since the Bronx was the suburbs.
Exactly. Since there was a horse outside, there
Yeah.
definitely hasn't been much change. I know throughout the years, like my dad said, that, like they had to change, like they had to find a new flour, but that was like way back in the 80s when things were changing, different companies were coming in.
Yeah.
But I think the whole thing they always say, and I kind of agree with them, is consistency. A lot of people try to do too much. Like my uncle has this, he says, oh, it's called K.I.S.S. Keep it simple, stupid.
The K.I.S.S method.
Yeah,
Yeah.
K.I.S.S. And I laugh at him all the time. I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I agree with that, but it is true. We keep it very simple. We don't do any dinners. There's no salads, no anything else.
Pizza.
No frills. It's just pizza and very basic topics.
Yeah.
Like if we are gonna sit there and we're gonna talk about pizza, that's all we have. And that's what I think people know for. Like, so they're not gonna come in and be like, oh, do you have a chicken parm sandwich? No.
You don't get into any of that.
Nothing. We just strictly do pizza and calzones. So throughout the years, Ernie initially was deep frying calzones, cheese, and ham and cheese. And we still do those, the traditional, what we were known for. Throughout the years, we've added some calzones just to be like the more health conscious people that are out there.
Yeah.
They want them baked. So that was like really in the early 2000s where we started adding things to our menu. But then it stopped. It really didn't hit too much further.
Back to K.I.S.S.
Yeah, we went right back to K.I.S.S. And it worked. It works for us. People love it. And the consistency. So at that point, if we're keeping it simple, the consistency of the product, we're not changing anything. We don't skimp on the product. We're like, listen, if it's going to cost us money, we'd rather spend the money because at that point, you want to put out a good product.
Of course.
You don't want to start losing customer base and having them go other places just because you're trying to cut costs. So we will always 100% use the same products no matter what the prices are.
Yeah, and I think when orders come in and the diversity of products on the order isn't like wild, right? Because look, we see it all the time with Slice. Look at our data. There are people placing an order for, in the same order, they'll order a fish or a burger, and they'll order a pizza, and they'll order, a chicken roll.
Right.
In a salad, and it's like the effort and the complexity that it takes to deliver on that order from a shop is pretty wild. Mm-hmm. But when your menu is really condensed and simplified, the effort you can put into the consistency, to your point, goes, really is optimized. And I mean, this is something that I've seen time and time again. Some of the best pizza shops in the world have some of the most condensed menus that I've ever seen, and I think there is something to be said about that.
Yeah, I think the best part about keeping the short condensed menu at that point is also you don't need to spend a lot of time making a pizza.
Right.
You can put a lot of love into it, but you're definitely not taking a long time trying to make it.
So order times are shorter.
15 minutes,
Yeah.
your pie's done.
Amazing.
Yeah, 15, 20 minutes at most. Sometimes if it's busy, we get up to a half hour,
Yeah.
but it just really depends on the day and the actual volume that's coming in. But if you move consistently fast, which we do, you're going to be able to turn over the product, but you just want to make sure that you're still giving out a decent product
Of course.
no matter what.
And you're giving out a best quality product at the fastest time, and you win.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And so in recent years, you've introduced your shop to some of the more modern tools. I think this is an important topic. By the way, this has nothing to do with Slice. So I don't,
Right.
It's just something that I believe the industry has to go through this transformation in order to have a chance at continued success looking forward. And so many owners hesitate, sometimes too long. I've seen institutions that are super busy or have been super busy all of a sudden struggle because they took too long to go through that transition. Walk the audience through some of the things that you've done in recent years that have really paid off. Also, it'd be good to hear some of the mistakes, some of the things we thought were going to work, but perhaps didn't.
I think one of the biggest things that helped us was definitely starting up with Instagram, a website.
That's how we connected, by the
Yeah,
way. Thank you for
Instagram.
responding. It was like quick.
Yeah, Instagram. I created our website. I learned in school a little bit how to do it, and I just
Amazing.
kind of ran with it. I was like, we need some sort of website. How many people couldn't find directions as, times were changing with the smartphones?
Yep.
So I was like, we need to have a window for people to, we were just writing down on a notepad, and pretty much if somebody called, I'm like, you know what? We need email. I got us hooked up with an email. So it was just kind of bringing us into really the 21st century that allowed us to have a lot of accessibility, not only to people like you, but bigger brands throughout the years. That's how I got in touch with Fila. We've had a Mercedes-Benz commercial. Same thing. Some things that have come through started with a phone call, but initially we needed our platform to really establish that relationship. So definitely the Instagram, the email, the website. I think adding the apps throughout now, adding the delivery service has helped us a lot because there are a lot of people that don't drive or aren't in the area anymore. They want to have our pizza, and there's no parking.
Right.
A lot of people working from home, and what they don't realize is us being in a very residential area, the cars aren't moving as much.
That's right.
Considering that they're all working from home.
That's right.
So parking's getting harder. Nobody wants those tickets.
Yeah.
So that has been a good plus for us. I think
it's a smart move. I think delivery, absolutely, there's a segment of customers who will only order if the product can be delivered. There's a segment who will only pick up. And there's a segment that'll do whatever they can just to get the food.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that has been the best part of us really adapting throughout the years. And then this year, we've really incorporated, like we started our frozen pies, which was a big hit for us. At first, my dad used to make pizza for me in college. So he was like, oh.
And then send them over to you.
He'd send them to me, and he'd be like, oh, share them with your friends. And my friend's like, these are really good. I'm like, yeah, it beats Domino's at 1 a.m.
It does.
But then when I came back, I was like, okay, I need to figure out pretty much trial and error how I can really start doing this. And it took off in the pandemic.
I'm assuming you worked with Gold Belly services like that? Or
So initially we were going to do Gold Belly, but the volume that they asked for is astronomical.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's too much. I mean, being a small mom and pop place, like a lot of people right now are either using a second location to really push out the pies, and I only have one. Yeah. So I was like, I don't know. They wanted 600 pies a week. I was like, oof. I'm like, that's an overnight option.
Yeah.
So it was tough because I originally reached out to them during the pandemic when they were first getting started, and I was like, hey, let's do this. Yeah. And they were super receptive. They're like, yeah, this is one of the oldest places. They only had 4 pizza places on there at the time. That's right. So I wanted to do that, but it just didn't work out. So now I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I could figure it out on my own. Yeah. And it's hard, but we actually ended up signing a deal with UPS so we can start nationwide shipping.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I've been dealing with that on top of Fila and everyone else.
That's right.
Yeah, it's been a cool transition. So that's like one of the things that I think where the generation now is going. I think when you think about stuff that I didn't do, I just wish I would. Or even
things you did that just, didn't work out.
Everything has been such a success. I know it sounds horrible, but everything's been such a success that I feel like it's kind of like when one door closes, another one's opening.
That's
like,
right.
I don't really stop. I mean, I just finished selling out our crock line, like the crock gibbets. That was a huge success. So anything that really can push the brand and just market more in our own free way has been.
I need a set of the crock gibbets.
Oh, I have.
My daughter dies for them.
I have.
If you have them on you, oh my God, that's amazing. Okay, thank you so much. When I give her this, she will be.
Yeah, no,
floored. Thank you so much.
Those were huge. So that ended up. I was working with a company trying to get them done. Yeah. And they're like, "What you sell pizza?" I'm like, "You don't understand." I'm like, "I need the building. I need my logo."
That's amazing.
So like things that I work on throughout the years have now become like really full circle.
Yeah. So let's talk about it. So one, talk about the crock project. You've got the Mercedes-Benz commercial. Yep. The Fila sneakers, which again, I mean, I'm such a huge fan. I cannot wait for my pair to show up. What is your approach to these opportunities? Is it just having an open mind? But how do you sort of how have you found success through these opportunities?
I think that sometimes I see so many people throughout the day that I'm like, what's in? Like we sell a ton of T-shirts, so okay, you go into any pizza place if they're like this novelty spot now, they're selling a T-shirt. I'm like, I want to be more than just a T-shirt. So then I started realizing I'm like, comfort's in. I'm like, everyone's wearing Crocs. I'm like, we got to order these Croc gibbets. And then I see everyone coming in with all these different ones on. And I'm like, there's a market here. We're missing out. I'm like, I have to find a company. And then at that point, I just started Googling and really trying to find out where they were coming from, who I can get in contact with. And that's how I got that. I was like, let's put it out there and let's see if it sells. And we sold a couple hundred real quick.
Incredible.
That was really cool. And then even with Mercedes, a lot of people just reach out to us. They call, they're like, hey, you're going to be on this commercial? I'm like, we are? I'm like, it was like, I think with Sloane Stevens, and she was driving around the city, and then, oh, they pull up in front of Louie and Ernie's. Oh, we're here. So it was just those little things throughout the years have definitely put us more on the map. And I feel like, the Bronx sometimes gets left out. People don't want to drive all the way there unless they're going to a Yankee game.
I thought Staten Island got left out. I'm from Staten Island.
I think the Bronx is more. I mean, it's definitely, we get a lot of people going to the Yankee game, so that helps us. Yeah. But I feel like sometimes they don't want to come all the way there. So I'm like, all right, we have to stay pretty relevant in a world where either there's a new pizzeria opening every day, they're offering more options than us. I'm like, and then the people that we do have coming in, I want to make sure that they're having a full-blown experience, not only with good pizza, but they have something to go home with too. And this kind of like hit home for everybody. So if the kids are having the Crocs, mom's getting a T-shirt, dad's grabbing a frozen pie for later on at 1 a.m. So like we kind of were able to have like all different demographics and then different ages come in and really
incredible
help us out.
And so this all led to this sneaker line, which this is everlasting. This will be, they're going to be around forever.
Right.
How did that come to be?
Well, my staff, me transitioning over to making pizza, like we left like a little bit of a hole to fill. Like they got some big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
They thought it was a prank phone call. So they were like, oh, Vic, I think somebody's on the phone. And a couple months earlier, it was the same thing. I had someone reaching out as Ryan Seacrest because we did his morning show with Kelly Ripa. So I'm like, oh no, guys. I'm like, is it really someone? They say they're from Fila. I'm like, all right, give me the phone. So initially I got on and I was like, oh yeah. I was like, a shoe? You guys?
And as a former athlete,
I'm like,
how special.
I love sneakers. Yeah. My dad always says, you got 2 feet. Only 2 feet. How do you have so many pairs of sneakers? Yeah. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So when they said, oh, we're going to create a shoe line, we're going to pick one pizzeria from each borough, and you're going to be it for the Bronx. I'm like, wait, like a real sneaker? And they're like, yeah, 100%. I said, okay. I'm like, I need an official letterhead. I said, I want to make sure that this is actually a real deal. I'm like, I want to know that, this isn't a prank phone call. And within 24 hours, like it was sent to our email, and I was like, wow. So my uncle got on the phone and he actually ended up speaking to them and was like, "You're making a sneaker?" Because everyone was a little like lost at what their actual idea of the project was. Meanwhile, I saw it right away. I'm like, this is great. I'm like, people love sneakers. People love pizza.
Yep.
And it's just part of culture now.
Yep.
And with the comfort culture being in, people just, they buy shoes, and I always say they stock and they rock. They're either wearing a pair and they're storing a pair. So that's all people do now.
That's right.
And then there's like this huge resale market. So I'm like, if there's only a certain amount being made, people are going to buy them and just hope that they're going to be worth something when I hit my 100 years.
I don't think anyone's going to turn down pizza-themed sneakers, especially from a brand like Fila.
Oh, yeah.
And so what an amazing... Did you have any creative input into the end product?
Yeah, so they were actually really hands-on from us from the beginning. They allowed us to pick out of which 4 styles of the shoe we wanted. We were able to add our color input. So the shoe itself is red, white, and green, which a lot of people are like, oh, it's the Italian flag. Yes, essentially. But we also have a huge neon in front of our store.
It's the Louie and Ernie's
colors. It's the Louie and Ernie's colors. Yeah. Like, that's just what we are. So that was a fun tribute. I'm a big, like I said, sneaker person. I love Jordans, although it's Nike, but I love Jordans. And they always had these clear bottoms. And I was like, it would be really cool to have this clear bottom under the shoe.
Yeah.
Same idea, this iced out blue. And have our pretty much store be on the bottom of the shoe. I'm like, that's great. Because I initially was like, oh, Instagram beneath your soul. I'm already like brainstorming all of the hashtags I could do. And
that's my favorite feature is the store on the bottom of the sole.
And I wanted to make sure that I got the picture right before Sandy, because at that point, all 4 signs like that we had were still up outside. And once Sandy came, they blew down, and we never really put them back up. We kind of left them alone. And I was like, I need to find that picture. So that was a big pivotal part of like, I wanted to make sure the shoe had balance. I wanted to get something that was old school.
Amazing.
And at the end of the day, I wanted it to stick out.
Yeah.
So that was definitely my favorite part, because now everyone just holds up the shoe outside.
How many customers have shown up with shoes on?
A lot, actually. This week, these past 2 weeks, I feel like everyone now has had the hype come, and then they're outside taking pictures. Who's showing me their shoe? So the big thing now is that I'm planning like a little bit of a party for all the people that bought the shoes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I want to do like
a little community.
Yeah, exactly, because people bought them just if they're fans of the Bronx. They bought if they're fans of Louie and Ernie's
Fans of
pizza in
pizza,
general.
yep.
I got a guy who bought all 5. He's never even been to
Yep.
the other 4.
He's never been to Staten Island.
Never been there. Never even knew the bridge was there.
Yeah.
But he was like, I'm buying all of them.
Yeah.
He's like, it's timeless.
Yeah.
And-
It is timeless.
And people realize that. So that was like, I think really, really cool now just seeing people wear my shoe. Because I went into Foot Locker. I'm like, do you have my shoe?
Yeah.
The lady was like, excuse me?
Yeah. She had no idea.
She had no idea. And then she was like, oh my God, you're the 4th person this morning asking about this shoe.
Oh, how special is that?
And I'm like, well, I designed it. I'm like, well, it's my pizzeria. And they're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
They're like, well, now we know the face, the name. They're like,
Yeah.
hello. So that was a really cool moment, like to be able to go into a Foot Locker and say, hey, where's this shoe?
As soon as my pair is delivered, I'm coming by for an autograph on my sneaker.
100%.
Yeah.
There's been a few of those too.
Yeah.
Hey, when are you guys all going to be there? Can you sign our shoe?
Yeah. What do you think of this? One of my beliefs is that in order for independent pizza shops to continue to find success, they have to continue to nurture sort of this community aspect of independence. Not to say that everyone needs to be best friends, but we've got to consistently learn from each other. Otherwise, the hurdles or the challenges become too steep. What are your thoughts on the general pizza community? Given that you've got these 5 shops all represented with this one initiative from Fila, do you find more value in staying close to other shops, or is it more competitive? Where do you think that aspect of the pizza industry is heading?
I think that
Truthfully,
I think that I'm like a little bit of a pizza snob now. Like, I love trying other people's pizza. So even for me, in the Bronx itself, I have my places where I like to go when I'm not eating my pizza.
Yeah.
I think my dad thinks I'm a little crazy because they only eat their pizza. Him and my uncle, that's it.
Old school.
Old school, their
Yep.
pizza. Why am I going somewhere else? But they've understand that I like to go out and try new places and see what all the hype is about. Because, like I said, a new pizzeria opens every day. I went already to all of the pizzerias. I've been to them.
From the sneaker.
Yeah. So some of them I've done just throughout the years. And then the last one I only had to do was Slice in Astoria. And I did that a couple of weeks ago. And it was cool. I just wanted to try them all out. And say I've had all of them. And it was good.
Yeah.
I wasn't like sold. It's not my favorite pizza place.
Yeah.
But
Slice is more of a known brand because of the owner.
Yeah. So that was a little.
And their food is good, but the
the
owner is a very
ambiance is really cool.
Exactly. Yeah. Lee's Tavern is incredible.
I love Lee's Tavern. That was
it's
good.
close to me.
Yeah.
It's probably 10 minutes away.
Yeah, I've been out to Staten Island a couple of times. So
Next time you come out, we've got to have.
yeah,
we've
we
gotta
could
have
do
some
like a
pizza.
little bit of a pizza tour. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, definitely. It was all of them were good. Ruberosa, obviously themselves, they kind of have always a notorious following.
Yeah.
So throughout the year it's been, cool to finally figure out who the other 4 were, because for a while I didn't even know who
had
they
no
were.
idea. Yeah.
No.
That's
they wouldn't.
amazing.
No one knew who the other 4 were, so I was trying to like figure it out through social media, and then like some of the big names that you thought would have been on there weren't. So
Right.
they were getting no's, and I'm like, well,
Interesting.
I'm like probably because they thought they were prank phone calls. Like in my
Right.
mind, I'm like
They hung
I
up.
was probably the same person, but it's cool because I like to really branch out and.
I love that. I mean, I think my favorite part about this conversation and meeting you and what you've been able to do with Louie and Ernie's is it just shows how powerful it can be when someone just embraces exactly who they are. And even if they are small scale, even if it's just one shop, there's unlimited potential as long as you embrace who you are, stay consistent, and have an open mind to trying different things. Because I think just so many people are always concerned about, hey, in order for me to be relevant, I need to be at the scale of Papa John's. I need to open up 100 shops. And while that's a path, it doesn't mean that having one shop is limiting in any way, shape, or form. It
Right.
actually can be incredibly powerful.
I would love to open my own. It's always been like a dream of mine. But now I'm just kind of more embracing the idea that, being where I am now is kind of where I have to be.
Yeah, for now.
For now. I mean,
Yeah.
it's never, like, I'm never going to say, oh, I won't do it. But I think right now, just like establishing myself, being where I'm at, being a woman in pizza, like the only one in the Bronx. I haven't ran into one yet in the Bronx, just me.
It's probably true. You're probably the only operator.
So at this point, it's been like a really cool experience. But the more places I go, the more I'm able to really like, I kind of steal ideas from everyone, because especially when you're going and you're seeing these places, you're trying new foods out. I'm like, oh, I like this. I don't like that. I like
so much inspiration.
Yeah, it all flows, and then I don't forget anything. I'm like an elephant. So I'm like, I go to all these places and I just try to like always just store stuff in the back of my mind. I'm like, all right, this place did that. And then my dad would be like, did you go here? I'm like, yep, went there. Been there, done that. Anytime anyone asks about pizza, he's like, go talk to my daughter.
Yeah. Let's fast forward 5 years. Mm-hmm. What does the future hold for Louie and Ernie's? Is it more stores? I'm excited for you because I do think you'll be an incredible shop entrepreneur and owner and operator. I'm sure you'll have many locations. But for Louie and Ernie's, what do you think is the future?
Never actually been asked 5 years. 5 years from now, I think my dad will be retired.
Okay. So he still spends a lot of time at the shop.
Yeah, he's transitioning.
Yeah.
He's definitely taking his time off.
I know what that's like. Just enough to be dangerous.
Yeah,
he's there enough to create problems.
No, he's not. He's definitely not a problem. He's definitely not that. He's a very quiet man.
I'm joking. Yeah.
No, he's very simple. He comes to work, he puts his head down, he does it, and he goes home. I definitely think by 5 years from now, I think he'll be on his way to retiring, which at that point he'll almost be at 50 years there.
Yeah.
So it's a long time.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. We need a pizza hall of fame.
We were inducted.
Yeah.
There is one.
Really?
Yeah.
Like an actual for operators?
Yeah, there's one. I think it's I know a magazine runs it. It's a PQM magazine.
PMQ.
PMQ, that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
They run it.
I have to look this up. I didn't know.
We were inducted in the December class of this last year.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so
that's amazing.
we had to get like all the archives of all the pictures.
I gotta go check this out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there is something of that
Yes.
already, but there's like a bunch of questions too. Like you have to be operating for over 40 years. Like there's a lot of different...
I like that.
Yeah, there's definitely some credentials along
Yeah.
the way. So it can't just be anybody. But yeah, I think 5 years from now, he'll probably be retired. I'll be more of I guess, taking over for him in a different
congratulations.
sense. Yeah, and then my uncle, he's got 3 girls. So, and they're all in college right now. He's got a little one.
Uh-huh.
She's in high school. But for him, I can't really speak for him. I think he's younger, so he's got some time left in him. But I could see him transitioning out too and having maybe one of his daughters take over with me.
Very cool.
Yeah, that would kind of be like a
I
full
love
circle.
The family aspect.
Yeah, so it's definitely, I think 5 years from now, we'll both be, at different stages of the game. I'll be much older too. So
if 5 years older.
Yeah, 5 years older, but your body, it takes a toll on the body. Those 14-hour days definitely start to creep up real quick.
Right.
But yeah, no, I think that Louie and Ernie's will still be in its only sole location, and I think that the brand itself be on its way to 100 years at that point. So,
I mean, the brand is established and
it's never
iconic.
leaving.
Yeah. Last question for you is: what is one piece of advice you would leave all of the pizza shop operators or employees who are listening? What is the one most important piece of advice you'd give somebody who's either operating or looking to operate a shop?
I would say take the leap of faith. Like, just throw it out there. I always say, if you have nothing left, you're just going to give everything you got, no matter what. I think a lot of people doubt themselves throughout the years if they want to start something or be a small business owner. I think that a lot of people spend too much time doubting themselves and actually making a plan. Stick to the plan and just execute it, because practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
If you're going to sit there and you're going to invest in yourself, that's the best thing that you could do.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Kind of like the Nike cap.
In between just do it and just be you. Because if you're yourself, people are going to like you. Just don't morph into anything that you're not.
Do you know
I think
how
too
often...
many people are trying to be somebody else in somebody else's industry. And if you have something that works for you, like us, we're known for our sausage pie. I'm not going to go and try to be anybody else and make like this ridiculous pepperoni pie. Like, just be you. Be what you got. Show them what you got, and that's really it. Don't look back.
So you are our first guest in our second season of the podcast. In our first season, we had some amazing pizza shop operators, successful people in the industry, and I've asked them very similar questions. And it is amazing how consistent that the most successful operators say that the secret to success is authenticity, being yourself and taking sort of that leap of faith in the idea that you have or creating the product that you really want. because too many people just go look around what others are doing and they just try and copy it, and copies are never quite as good as the original.
You have to put in the work.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to work, it's never going to work out.
Yeah.
I think mostly now what I'm seeing with a lot of pizzerias and people that are retiring, because this year alone, New York City is flooded with people that are retiring and new guys are coming in and opening up. I think a lot of people want to be like absentee owners, which sounds great on paper, but the reality
There's
is
no
that
such thing.
there's no such thing.
No.
Exactly. You have to be there 100%.
Yeah.
Otherwise, somebody else is really running what you deserve.
That's right. Well, look, we have a team of almost 900 people. There's no such thing as absentee owner.
Yep.
With 900 people,
Yeah, no.
you know, we're here.
I got 9, and that's enough for me. Some days
Yeah.
I'm like, whew.
Now, again, it's a choice. Like, if you want to be special and you want to be great, there's no such thing as absentee. By the way, there's not right or wrong, but you can't be there sometimes,
Right.
or casually run a shop and expect greatness. Those two things almost rarely come together.
I agree.
Yeah. So it's about, you know, who do you want to be? If you want to be great, you gotta put in the work, show up, and be humble.
100%.
Good way to leave it off.
That is a great way to leave it off.
Thank you so much. This
No
was
problem.
awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
thanks.
Thank you so much for having
Of
me.
course.